1. 1325 Alfonso IV is crowned King of Portugal. In 1325, the Kingdom of Portugal entered a new era. It was the year that King Alfonso IV began his reign on the throne. Alfonso IV, nicknamed the Brave King, took a significant turning point in Portuguese history in the Middle Ages. He strengthened the national power, stabilized the internal affairs, and laid the foundation for marine exploration. One of the most famous events of Alfonso IV's reign was the Battle of the Salado River in 1340. In this battle, the Portuguese and Castile forces won a huge victory, defeating the Moorish armies. His rule was difficult, but also contributed greatly to Portugal's political and military development. In 1325, the accession of Alfonso IV became the starting point for bringing Portugal to the forefront of history. 2. 1558 France retakes Calais from Britain. This is an important event, in which France retakes Calais after the 100 Years' War. France saw a historic turning point in 1558, when it took back Calais from Britain. Calais remained Britain's only continental territory for nearly 200 years, after the 100 Years' War. But things changed when French forces took over it under the leadership of French King Henry II. At that time, Calais was a strategically important region, both economically and militarily. The victory of France went beyond mere territorial restoration and became an important symbol of an end to the long-running conflict with Britain. This event sparked France to regain its national power and strengthen its centralized rule, and gradually marked a changing sign of the hegemonic competition in Europe. 3. 1610 Galileo Galilei first observed Jupiter's four main moons. In 1610, Italian scientist Galileo Galilei made an important discovery, which would shake the world at that time. While observing Jupiter through his improved telescope, he found four bright spots that revolved around it. They are Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, who are now known as the Galilee satellite. At the time, people believed in the Earth-centered theory that celestial bodies revolved around the Earth, but this discovery sparked the idea that not all celestial bodies revolutionized around the Earth. By doing so, he supported Copernicus' heliocentric theory and set off an important wave of the scientific revolution. Galileo's discovery served as an opportunity to completely change human view of the universe, and marks a milestone in the history of science as a great moment. 4. 1782 During the American Revolutionary War, French battleships fought a fierce battle against the British. In 1782, at the height of the American Revolutionary War, a significant battle took place over the waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The French Navy stood up for independence and fought against the British to help the United States. It was not just a naval battle. The clash between the two great powers, France and Britain, was a decisive move to cut off the British supply lines and strategies. In particular, French warships were very maneuverable, putting the British in a bind, which allowed the American independents to take the lead in the battle. This great battle in the Atlantic Ocean itself marked a turning point in the tide of the Independence War, and eventually played an important role in the success of American independence. 5. 1895 King Gojong of the Joseon dynasty proclaimed Article 14 of the Red Crimes at Jongmyo Shrine. It was a law that laid the foundation stone for the modernization of the Korean Empire. In 1895, King Gojong of the Joseon dynasty opened a significant chapter in history at Jongmyo Shrine. It was the day that he proclaimed Article 14 of Hongbaeum. This decree laid the foundation for Joseon to become a modern state. It laid the foundation for the modernization of the Korean Empire, offering new directions for the country's management, such as reforming the military system, improving the finances, and employing human resources. Joseon, which sought to survive under external pressure at the time, dreamed of reforms in its politics, the economy, and society as a whole through this decree. Although it was an era of chaos, this proclamation is remembered as an important starting point for modernization in our history. King Gojong's determination reminded us today of his will to reform and innovate as well. 6. 1941 During World War II, German forces occupy Metnai, Greece. In 1941, at the height of World War II, the Germans occupied Metoni, an important strategic location in southern Greece. This area was a stronghold that could advance into the Mediterranean Sea, and as the Greek defense line was helplessly collapsed, the Germans were able to expand their Nazi influence. The occupation of Metoni caused great suffering to the Greeks, The German military's brutal occupation policy destroyed the lives of the locals, leading to forced labor and exploitation of resources. However, the Greeks did not give in and organized resistance movements, continuing their hopes for independence. The occupation of Matone was a strategic victory for the Germans, but it was also a moment that awakened the Greek people's spirit of resistance. 7. 1953 U.S. President Harry Truman announces in a public speech that he has approved the development of a hydrogen bomb. In 1953 U.S. President Harry Truman made a significant announcement in a public speech. It was the news that he officially approved the development of a hydrogen bomb. Hydrogen bombs, with more destructive power than previous atomic bombs, became a symbolic weapon that intensified the arms race between the U.S. and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. President Truman described the decision as an inevitable choice to strengthen U.S. security and maintain international dominance, but it further heightened the competition and fear of nuclear weapons around the world. The announcement is recorded as a significant moment that shows how much the expansion of arms has affected human history. 8. 1989 Hirohito, Emperor Showa of Japan, dies and Akihito is crowned the new emperor. The year 1989 was a turning point in Japanese history. On January 7, when Hirohito, the Emperor of Showa, passed away, Japan came to an end of the 63-year-old Showa period. His death has profoundly affected not only the Japanese people, but also the whole world. On January 8 of the same year, Japan opened a new era of Heisei, with Hirohito's eldest son being crowned as the new emperor. Emperor Akihito has become a symbol of a new era, emphasizing peace and harmony. His accession to the throne has become a new beginning for the Japanese people, who have suffered from war. The changes in history from Showa to Heisei are still deeply embedded in the memories of the Japanese people. 9. 1993 A number of casualties were caused by the collapse of the Wam shopping complex in Cheongju, South Korea. In 1993, a shocking accident swept the Republic of Korea. A massive collapse occurred at the Wam Shopping Center, apartment in Cheongju, North Gyeongsang Province. At dawn on December 13, the building suddenly collapsed and caused great damage to people in the building and to the citizens passing by. The accident, in which a total of 49 people were killed and several were injured, was a clear example of the poor construction problem at the time. It was found to be the cause of design defects, improper construction, and poor management, which sparked public anger and served as an opportunity for a significant change in the perception of construction safety. The accident is recorded as a regrettable incident that awakened the danger of safety insensitivity, again in modern Korean history. 10. 2015 12 people are killed in a weekly Charlie Hebdo terror attack in Paris, France. On January 7, 2015, Paris, France shocked the world. Charlie Hebdo, a satirical weekly, was a media outlet that spotlighted social issues by publishing controversial cartoons, but that day armed terrorists stormed the editorial office and killed 12 people. This incident sparked a debate about freedom of expression, and the whole world supported solidarity and freedom of expression by shouting the words, "I'm Charlie." It was a day when France and the world reaffirmed their message that we must fight extremism with great sadness.